Hi everyone, Steve here back on the N-Scale Cajon Subdivision. Time for a layout update. This is going to be number 9. It's been about 3 weeks or so since we did our last layout update, and I wanted to show you guys what we've been doing on the mostly lower level. Got a few other areas we've been working on, but we kind of get that lower level yard we're working on. So stick around, we'll go over the layout and show you what we're doing. Alright everyone, welcome back. This is layout update number 9 again. So on our last update we had kind of left off, we were starting to work into the yard, and we just kind of finished the bench top, and we were starting to paint some of the bench top to get the yard leads going and the arrival departure tracks going. So as that turnout, which is kind of at the reversing loop of the west end of my yard, this is actually main 2 now, is actually the track is in. As you can see, following that around, that track is down and laid, and that'll be the main track that feeds into the yard. As you can see, main 1 kind of reverses. Main 2 becomes main 1, and then if they don't take the turnout, they'll actually follow main 2 into the yard, which is this main right here. As you can see, we've got a lot of cork down, and we've actually got our first couple tracks going into the yard. Some of that's actually just mocked up, but the actual tracks right here, this is all down and actually in place. We've got those first 3 arrival departure tracks we're working on installing, and then to the just forward of them we'll have the yard lead, and then we'll have some classification tracks or maintenance tracks on this end, maybe engine facility, I haven't decided yet. And then down here at the bottom here is going to be our Union Pacific sidings for the yard. So anyway, as you can see, a lot of cork down. I went ahead and just did the sheets of cork for the lower level yard, and before that I painted everything, and we've got that down for most of the yard. I ran out down on this end, so I've got some more coming, and then hopefully I can get this end finished up. But yeah, the main arrival departure tracks 1, 2, and 3, I'd like to get those going, so that way I can at least, as I have some trains made up, and I don't want to keep them parked on, the main 1 and 2 up in Cajon or wherever. I can actually, start to bring some into the yard and just have some trains made up where I can, don't have to have them running all the time. If I want to sideline one while I have others running, I can do that. So it's probably going to be the first thing I try to get done in the yard. That way, again, I can do some, leave some trains running, and as I make up trains and it's a good train, I can go ahead and leave them, set up in these arrival departure tracks. So pretty happy with the way the yard the yard lead is kind of starting to turn out. I think it kind of looks pretty good. I think it'll be pretty good for operations when the time comes, but more to follow on that as we get further along on the yard. Alright, one of the other things I had to do in order to continue this lower level yard was I went ahead and framed this access hatch here. You can kind of see the outline of it. I went ahead and made a frame for it underneath, so it fits and it locks in place, and then if I ever need to, I can remove it in order to get up there and maybe work in Sullivan's curve area. So hopefully I won't need it, but at least it's there if I ever do. So right now I've tested it fits great. I'm using latches to hold it in place underneath, and then I'll end up having probably like some terminal boards, maybe with like some quick release, just to feed the tracks. So there'll only be a few tracks that run over it, I think, but the ones that do, they'll need to be powered in some way. So probably have like a cannon plug or some quick disconnects that'll feed power to those tracks. But yeah, that took a little bit of time and work to get it all lined up and get it fit and everything like that, but it does work. I've popped it out. I've got track running over it right now, otherwise I'd show you guys on camera. But the track that's gonna run over it eventually, I'll probably use gap masters for the joints, that sort of thing. So more to follow on that, but that's kind of what we've got done on the lower level. As you can see, a lot of time putting down cork roadbed and you know, getting that track going into the lower level yard. And I also forgot to mention, I've also got this new main 2 here, the yard lead up, that's all wired up underneath too. So got the all the terminal blocks and feeders and everything already soldered in, so that's powered and operational. So lower level coming along pretty nicely, and hopefully on the next layout update we'll have some more progress on this yard, maybe even have some arrival departure tracks with, you know, trains stored on them. But should be a pretty good yard once we get some more progress done on it. And as you can see, this end has kind of become a holding area for like new acquisitions and stuff I've been buying. So I got to clean up this lower level and start using it for what it's for. But that's the lower level so far. Alright, upper level, not a whole lot has changed here. Unfortunately, I haven't got too much more done on the upper level. I did just put in this brace right here yesterday. That piece going across and another brace. That corner right there, that turn was sagging just a tad. For some reason, I didn't have a good brace there, or I didn't have a brace there. And it was allowing that wood to just sag a little bit right there. And every so often I'd have a loco pop on that, or pop off the rail right there on that corner. So other than that, main 3, I've worked a little bit on bringing it, as you can see, down here. Got it in all the way up to Cajon. Everything is wired from that end down, and then or actually I take that back, to where the locomotive is wired, and then right here I'm starting to finish installing it and bring it up here. That track is just mocked up. I haven't got that one actually in place yet. As you can see, the rail ends are bent on that. I gotta trim those, clean it up. But yeah, I've just been painting a lot of this as I go before I put track down now, and any more cork, just because I don't want to run into problems later on with the wood not being painted. So everywhere I can, I'm starting to paint. What I do is I've got a bunch of these left over from when we bought our house, and painted a bunch of stuff this last summer, and I'm using those up here and there, just painting spots on the layout as I go. So let's see, just put in this bus from, you know, main 3 over to here, this next section, and that's really about it. You know, it's a lot of little stuff going on behind the scenes, like the wiring, the feeders, and stuff like that. It all adds up. You know, it takes time to do. So, you know, even though it might not look like a lot, it's a decent amount once you start adding all the little things up that have to go into getting that, you know, maybe that track installed, or, you know, that arrival departure track installed down here. You know, everything, they had to go into all the cork and painting it first, and framing it, and all the feeders and bus underneath. So bus wires underneath. So, but anyway, somebody had asked, a couple of people had asked about the sign I had. I actually made that during a 3D printing class I went to. You know, we had to come up with something to make. So a couple of people had asked about it. So I made that, and it's actually 3D. It's not the greatest, but it's kind of cool. I've made it, and I figured what a great place to put it on the layout. And then I made this caddy right here too when I was in that class. A couple of people had asked. So I made that caddy. I was like, oh, I'll come up with something to put all my tools in and stuff. So pretty cool. I put the logos on the back, BNSF and Union Pacific logo. So, but yeah, those were a couple of people have mentioned in a couple of the videos about, you know, what that was or what the sign was. So figured I'd show those to you guys. But anyway, I think that's really it right now. And try to get some more stuff done on the layout. It's slow going, just, you know, because work and other stuff take time. So, and you have some days you come out here and you don't feel like working on it. Other days you feel like just running trains, and other days you know, you got to take a break from it. So, but anyway, it's coming along pretty good, and we'll hope to have another update for you guys soon. All right, thanks for watching. One of the other things I did on the layout was between the last video update and this one is I reversed the flow of operations on it. So before, tracks were coming up main 2, coming down main 1, and today they're coming up main 1 and coming down main 2. So I just want to make sure that the trains and the track are working in both directions and work out any bugs as we go. So this is actually a BNSF oil tanker train coming through main 2 at Cajon. Or tank train, not oil tank train. And these are Athearn tank cars. I love the way they look. I think there's a lot of detail to them, really good out of the box for the most part, but a few of them here and there finicky. You kind of have to dial in. But looks pretty good so far. And eventually main 1 and 2, once I get the UP Highline and main 3 in, main 1 and 2 will mostly be used for eastbound traffic or traffic coming up the pass, and then main 3 will be more traffic coming down the pass or west towards Los Angeles. So I will be using these crossovers here at Cajon quite a bit eventually. But as you can see, slowly getting there, slowly making progress on the layout. So again, appreciate you guys stopping by, and we'll see you guys on the next update.